Hello, everybody. You're listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave Joe Dog, Alex Rodriguez, Mr. AROD, back in the building after a little bit of a hiatus. In case y'all don't know, we used to make fun of hurricanes. We don't make fun of them Johns no more. And I can say Johns now because apparently everybody's coming over to the dark side. So, yeah, we don't make fun of them Johns no more.
Keep it a bean, hell no.
Good being, bro. But AROD, how are you doing, my friend?
Doing good. Hurricane got the best of me. My house is completely gone. But good news is insurance is covering it all. So, yeah, that was a crazy hurricane because my house is never flooded in the area that I'm at, and I talk all that shit, and sure enough, it happened to me. But there's some underlying things.
Y'all think Mother Nature be playing around, dog? You don't mess with her, dog.
I didn't fuck around, but I did find out. It definitely hit me. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate. So, gonna be recording from my aunt's house. Got this little weird setup over here. I got two boxes, the computer's on, sitting in a comfy chair. So back to talking sports. I gotta vent. Gotta have an outlet to talk. So
get it off your chest, brother. We're just gonna kick it off. I'm giving you the floor. You have obviously over the last 3-4 weeks. It's been like a roller coaster ride. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your New York Yankees in the World Series. Currently down 3-1 in the series after saving their ass last night. And they just took a 3-0 lead on the Dodgers now. So I fuck up my parlay. Yeah, I got the Dodgers. Yeah, I know I did. But anyway, so you got the Yankees doing their thing, trying to make a little bit of a comeback here. Before the last time we spoke, I think we talked about I think it was before Salah got fired, right? And we were talking about each other's teams. I'm like, what's wrong with our teams and everything like that. Well, since then, my team's been doing fine. Can't say the same for yours, and he would happen to be the sacrificial lamb there. Meanwhile, I got Devontae Adams now, and still nothing's working. Who else you cheering for? Who else is you dogs?
Real Madrid. I mean, the Knicks got their ass waxed opening night, and then Real Madrid got their ass handed to them in the Clásico. So it's just not a good. I'll be honest. I'll keep it a bean with you here, man. Like I have not. Look at that Phillies talk coming out now. I haven't been really paying attention to sports like I should be these last few weeks because I've been demolition man at the house and. I have 4 contracts that I've been working on trying to make sure that those people are good with their home and stuff during the hurricane. So I've been the busy bee lately, but I've tried to catch up as much as I can. I did get to watch the Yankee game yesterday, so that was some breath of fresh air for me right there. So, but if the floor is mine, I'll start with the Yankees, man. I'm proud of them being here. Aaron Judge, man, I'm proud of everything you did in the regular season. You're still the captain. You're still everything, but you got to wake up that bat, man. That bat's got to wake up for you at some point. I know you got an RBI yesterday, and you did get on base 3 times, including with 1 hit. But I mean, we expect power, we expect consistency, and it seems like when he gets to the playoffs, he freezes every time. So maybe the battery just goes uncharged when it comes to here. I get it. He hasn't been hurt all year, which is, knock on wood, a blessing. But the Dodgers, they're powerhouse.
As we say this, he did hit a 2-run homer today.
Shit.
Yeah. So he's, I'm sure it's hard to play in New York. It's hard to play in New York. So much pressure is on you. But Jazz Chisholm hit him a home run again tonight as well. Judge got on the board with another home run. So it's all hope isn't lost. All hope isn't lost, but
it's not. It really isn't. But it's tough. I mean, the Red Sox did it last to do it, so it's going to be hard, and especially against a team like the Dodgers. If anything, Ohtani being hurt is definitely going to be a plus for us. But still, you got Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, and Kike Hernandez is probably one of the greatest postseason hitters in all of baseball when you need a clutch hit or a big hit. So. And then that bullpen scares me so much. The shit they wheeled out yesterday, I didn't know Brett Honeywell still had a job, man. He was a big prospect for the Rays, and now he's a relief pitcher. Like, tattooed his ass. So it's gonna be tough, but all I want for this team to do is for Aaron Boone to be smart with the lineup, to put in the right matchups and to pull pitchers like, I don't care if it's Garrett Cole. If he's wheeling and dealing by the fifth and he starts giving up hits and it's a close game, take him out. Take him out. I don't need this headache. And whatever you do not put Clay Holmes in. I don't care what the matchup is. Care if the guy has struck him out 32 times out of 10 times. I don't care, man. Just don't put Clay Holmes in. That guy gives me a heart attack. So we'll see.
What was your take on this the Mookie Betts shit that happened last night with the glove shit?
New York's gonna show out, man. That's just how we do, man. If anything, it's meme worthy for anything, for a lot of things that we're seeing now that they're turning it into memes. But they banned the fans, but they did refund them the money, so that's a lot of money.
I'd have been like, look, I don't know. I would have to really think a whole long about that one. I'm like,
The funny thing was Mookie was smiling in the beginning. He was like laughing while the whole thing was going down, and then he was just like,
hey,
a snitch.
And that's the second fan interference we got in this series already. So it's like, look, the Dodgers and the Yankees are two historical franchises. It's crazy that this is the first time they've seen each other in like 30 plus years. So for this to be happening is already just a magical thing anyway, for me personally, as a fan of sports in general, and as a huge fan of just individual players on both of the teams actually.
This is what everyone wanted. This is like the first time in a long time we got a World Series we were wanting. So we got it. The evil empire versus the big spenders over there. The $2 billion, $3 billion contracts they have over there. Jesus, man.
Gotta pay to play.
Gotta pay to play. Right. Money ball wins you games, does not win you championships.
You think the Rays can put up with any of these two teams right now with these kind of stakes?
They don't even have a roof.
They don't even have a roof. Speaking of Hurricane Milton, that's one of the wackiest shit I've seen over the last month. A stadium built in Tampa / St. Pete, Florida, that's not equipped to handle a Category 2 or 3 hurricane, because it could only take up to, I think, 105 mile per hour winds, and they got hit with a 115, blew the whole bullshit off. Now they're saying the new stadium that they're gonna build should be able to take up to 145 miles per hour. We'll see. We'll see. But what we learned again, you don't play with that woman named Mother Nature. She's not playing around. So we got that out the way. Moving on to so you got a little bit of a high now. We're just gonna jump right into it. With the New York Jets. I want to get your perspective on last year was supposed to be 14 wins. This year was supposed to be high hopes. If I told you on October 30th, y'all got Halloween, y'all got Devontae Adams, Hassan Reddick, Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, you got this roster, right? If I told you that situation, you would say what normally?
We're going to the ship.
And if I told you y'all fired Robert Saleh after 5 games, he can't even make the bus back from London, then what are you gonna say?
We talked about this before the break and the little hiatus we had. There is blame on Saleh a little. I'll give some blame to him, but I don't think it's firing worthy. Maybe end of the season, because we talked about this. When you fire a coach mid-season or beginning of, or any time in the season, there's morale issues there. There's big morale issues, and I went down a rabbit hole on this. The game that he got fired, he wore a Lebanese patch on his shirt to show.
I can't let that be. I can't believe that would be a reason. But Woody Johnson is a big funder to a lot of the Israel programs and is an ambassador for the Trump administration too. So I went down a rabbit hole, and there was a lot of issues that Woody probably had with that too, that maybe just, you've paid all this money to these players and done all this, and this guy goes out there and you're like, what the fuck, but that's the man's heritage right there. You have to let the man, stand in solidarity with what he wants to stand with.
But and then to have Sam Darnold beat you, your old quarterback,
That was
So
yeah. That's the funny part.
since then
Cause think about it. The Broncos, aka Zach Wilson, even though he didn't play, and Sam Darnold both beat Aaron Rodgers this year. If you want to kind of just put that shit into perspective, but go ahead.
but I mean, I would have not. He would have been on short leash with me definitely for the end of the season. It would have been playoffs or you're done for me. Um, but getting rid of him like that is and very unprofessional in my opinion. To not let him speak to the players, to lock him out, to escort him out, like that's wild to me. Just for the defensive coordinator who was handpicked by Saleh to take over, which once again makes no sense. No head coach track record of coaching ever. I don't think he's any type of coach eligible for me. When Dan Campbell got hired as the interim for the Dolphins, excuse me, he won the first game. And I was like, okay, this guy has something because of the way he holds and carry himself and holds people accountable. I know this guy was an old linebacker for the 49ers, but I just don't see it. He doesn't look good in press conferences. It kind of looks like he's been thrown to the wolves. Woody Johnson is just not a good owner.
Nope.
I don't like him one bit. Every time I read the comments, whenever he puts a picture of him with his stupid Woody Ice thing on, everyone's just like, sell the team, sell the team. Just for all of this to happen to get Devontae Adams finally, that's been the ongoing thing for us to get Devontae Adams. And I know he hasn't been with the team. I know he has to learn the playbook, but he's a smart guy. He's a very polished receiver. We talk about how he carries himself. He's not like very diva-esque, but at the same time still, wants the ball, and to lose that game, then to get Hassan Reddick back and play a lackluster Patriots team who we made look pedestrian the first time, for them to, clean our clock. So it's hard. It's hard being a Jets fan because you just don't know what to expect of this team. And I love Sauce's answer when they asked him about the Saleh firing. He said, we're all still playing it like he's here. We're trying to do this for him and win it for him. And I want that. I believe like the team wants to do that, but I think this team is really starting to get over Aaron Rodgers. Like what's the Dennis Green? They're not who we thought they were. Like not who we thought he was. I
want you to speak on Aaron Rodgers because that is where that's where my mind is at with this whole thing is. Because when we spoke, I said when the quarterback, head coach, and GM and shit are not on the same accord, there's going to be issues, right? I don't know what would have got Woody Johnson or Doug, whatever, to feel like, all right, this is the right move for us to fire Homeboy. Like I don't know what would have caused that. It could be a multitude of things. But to me, the common denominator of everything that's been happening with this team is one Aaron Rodgers.
It is, and it is because last year I saw him at practice, and I told you last year like they seem happy. There's morale, there's all this, but of course Aaron goes down, and now it's back to the sunken place again. This year, you would think you tear your ACL, you're coming in hard. Pause for the city of New York. You came in with that American flag running in. You think you're going to come in,
by the way, which is even a little bit worse because Achilles is tough.
Achilles, yeah. So now you got a guy that doesn't show up to practice, and I think that's what pissed off Saleh is that I'm anointing you the starting quarterback. I moved on from Zach to make everything accommodable for you, so we don't got to worry about him. And we basically put a team around you that you wanted, hired the guys that you want, gave Nathaniel Hackett a second chance, just for you to strong arm the organization once again and say, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to show up when I want to go. I'm going to go do my darkness tour, whatever the hell this guy does. And I'm over it, man. Like, I feel like it takes away from a man who's supposed to be controlling a bunch, or a leader that's controlling a bunch of adult children, and mostly in Aaron Rodgers that just doesn't show up. Hassan Reddick went through his thing, and I understand Hassan Reddick's thing because he wasn't paid. Joe Douglas is an idiot for that. He got bamboozled, but everything was rectified and fixed and signed. But in the case of Aaron Rodgers, quarterback in my sense is always the leader. Is that a wrong thing to guess? Like that usually is your leader of your team.
He's the extension of the head coach, who's an extension of the GM, who's an extension of the owner. That's just
Correct.
chain of command.
And it doesn't look like he's on the same page with his head coach. Now, Joe Douglas is the guy that brought him over. Like, this is going to work. And if Joe Douglas is just sitting back like, oh, they're not getting along, like he's the monkey in the middle, for a bad word to use there, you know. He's the monkey in the middle, Robert Saleh. So it sucks because he's trying to win games, and you can see that they're not on the same page. You can see that the offense isn't on the same page either. And I more point fingers to Aaron Rodgers with that, because the team too, because Garrett Wilson, I saw a bunch of plays of him running and the ball thrown at his back. So I don't know if they're just not on the same page. I don't know what's wrong with the O-line, because he went and beefed up this O-line and got a good O-line, and they're getting penalized left and right. That's what happened in the Broncos game. If they didn't get penalized so much, we would have won that game. Everyone just doesn't look like they're
officially.
Yeah. It doesn't look good and it doesn't smell right. But for your quarterback to not come out and take any accountability for anything and throw players under the bus, it's stupid. It's showing me why towards the end of his tension in Green Bay, I kind of couldn't stand him. But coming to New York, I thought, well, it's going to be a change of scenery. We were going to get a different Aaron Rodgers, because he wanted out of Green Bay, and that was his way to get out of Green Bay, was to lash out and do his shit. But apparently it wasn't. That's just who he is. So he's brought that fun shit over here to New York, and now he's just, I feel like a cancerous part to this team right now. You get Devontae Adams that comes from one shitty team and comes to an even more shittier team with no identity right now.
Across the whole, he went from all the way to the West Coast to all the way to the Northeast just to deal with the same shit. It's like,
correct. And I hate hearing the media say like, oh, Garrett Wilson used to look up to Devontae. Like, Garrett Wilson may have looked up to him, but like now he's taking targets from you now. Now he's going to be a guy taking targets from you. So Garrett Wilson's going to have to learn to play in the slot right there. You got Mike Williams, who against the Broncos made an amazing catch on the side that everyone was talking about the whole week, even though they lost, to being the most shunned player on the team now because he missed a couple balls. And for your morality as a receiver, you would think the quarterback would come to your aid and be like, oh, I may have underthrown him, or, we weren't on the same page there. But to exactly throw him in front of the bus, it just doesn't look good for you right there. And Mike Williams, when healthy, is a great receiver. And then you get Hassan Reddick back, who's back. I don't know if he's been reading the playbook. I don't know if the motherfucker can read. I don't care. But he just doesn't look like himself either. And he's already taking jabs at people saying shit about him. This team is all over the place. And there's definitely nobody controlling them in the head coach area. So I don't know what to make of this team. It's the same old Jets. I'm back to like, don't get my hopes up on shit. Never know, man. They could win the next games and whatever, but I just don't see them. I don't see that happening. I don't see them making the playoffs. I don't know what to make of this team. I saw a lot of shit a couple of weeks ago with players that are unhappy, and they were the big three of Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, and Garrett Wilson. Those better be lies. I'm paying attention to that close. If they get rid of any of those guys, I will never forgive this organization, because we struck gold there. We did not strike gold with the quarterback, and that's what we need to just find, is a guy that is efficient and good, that can play good football and just win us football games until we find the guy that it's going to be for the future. But if getting rid of those people are what they're thinking, I can never forgive this organization, because we've put a lot of time and effort into this. And to get rid of it, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm really over the Jets. They legit, if that organization was sold to, I don't know, freaking Montreal, want an expansion team, like, I would not care. I'm truly over that team. They just break your heart year in and year out, and I just can't deal with it anymore. I can't. Don't want to watch it. Don't care about it.
If Aaron Rodgers somehow ends up with the Vikings on his Brett Favre tour and then rides out to the sunset, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But they got something good over there. Don't fuck it up. Minnesota. All right, well, let's you got a lot off your chest. So let's bring it back. Let's bring it back a little bit. Just kind of going over where we're at right now in the NFL season. I was looking at, I pulled up the standings real quick just to kind of see where y'all at. Yeah, 2-6, 15th in the AFC. I mean, y'all's one game better than the Titans, and that's the only team. That's the one of two teams that you've beaten this year. So, sheesh. There's that. Now, looking at the top of the AFC before we hop on over to my conference, we got Kansas City sitting at 7-0, but dealing with injuries after injuries after injuries, somehow still finding a way to just get it done. Houston at 6-2, but Stephon Diggs is not out for the year, which is an unfortunate blow. We look at the top two teams right there. Rashee Rice gone for the year. Stephon Diggs gone for the year. Nico Collins has been on IR for a couple weeks. It's crazy to see there's a lot of these bad injuries happening to good teams. And but the surprising team that I want to talk about that forgive me, Father, for I have sinned forever, doubting that man Mike Tomlin over Pittsburgh. We talked about his before the season started, we did our over unders, right? I think their over under was at 6.5 or 7.5 or shit like that. And I said, bro, come on, man. There's no way. There's absolutely no way in hell they don't even sniff that over. And then, you was like, bro, before we talk, it's Mikey T. You don't doubt that, man, right? And this happens and that happens. I look at the standings. I'm like, there's no way that the Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-2 right now. And they are on their way. Like, they're on their way to, I don't know about winning the division because, Baltimore is right behind that 5-3. I still think Baltimore is still probably the best team in the NFL, to be very honest with you. I think they do stupid shit that gets in their way. Like the Raiders game, shouldn't have lost that game. The Chiefs game, they didn't know who they were yet, and they were a toenail away from making that game more interesting. And then Jameis Winston, what can you say about Jameis, bro? This is what he does.
What did he? My coach said, my coach told us to be prepared. What did he say again? First, he just said be prepared.
He also said he was like, that white boy in Detroit. He said you only get one shot at one opportunity. Bro. Jameis Winston is a treasure. I think he needs to be protected at all costs. I don't care. But back to Mikey T and the Pittsburgh Steelers over the last month since we've been gone. They're 4-1 in their conference. They're 6-2. 4-1 in the division, 6-2 in general. They lead the AFC North. I did say before the season that if they get over that win total, build the statue, I will be out there to help. I will be out there with my black forces on, and I'll be out there to help build that statue. From what are you? And then, mind you, half of this was done with Justin Fields. What do the Yankees do?
Score another run.
But y'all fucked up my parlay, bro.
4-0.
All right, man. Fuck it. Y'all can have this one, man. It's going back to LA. But anyway, mind you, a lot of this was done with Justin Fields. Mike T had the balls in the middle of the season to be like, fuck, I don't care. Let's go to Russ. Let him cook.
A whole pack of Badgers.
Let him cook. Najee, he knows how to run again. George Pickens, he looked like the man all of a sudden again. It's just all this shit that defense is immaculate. What is your perspective of the Pittsburgh Steelers on the first? Basically, this is the first half of the season. So, what's your opinion on your thoughts on them? Looks like you're frozen over there, Mr. AROD. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Can you hear me now? I'm good?
Yeah, I can hear you. All right. I just switched to Geico, by the way. That was a Geico commercial, right? No, that's Verizon. Yeah. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the Mike T led Pittsburgh Steelers?
Dude is the coach, man. Like, that's the longest tenured coach in the NFL right now and knows how to coach and build that statue before he retires, because Even the George Pickens saga. I had friends texting me for fantasy advice, and they're like, "What should I do about George Pickens?" And I shouldn't start him, right? With that whole thing that he did with the eye shadow stuff or the eyeliner stuff. I was like, dude, Mike Tomlin's seen worse than that. He's gonna eat. And sure enough, George Pickens has been taken off now that he has Russ there. So the people that gave up on Pickens, shame on you, because
I
Mike
picked up.
Tomlin.
Somebody traded. I said, yeah, throw him in the trade. Let me get him. I got him. Stupid.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike Tomlin definitely knows how to control a locker room. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he comes in there with a big stick every time and says this is how it's going to be. But everybody respects and understands what to do there, whether they're childish, which most of the receivers usually are. But Mike Tomlin gets the best out of everybody. The guy knows how to win, knows how to stay consistent, and whether he wins the Super Bowl or not, like he just is going to win you at least the average. He's going to be there at 500 at least. He's not going to have a losing season ever.
Is that what they want? Because at some point they haven't won a playoff game since 2016. So on one foot, 6-2, fantastic. They're overachieving what I'm pretty sure they're overachieving what everybody thought. Okay, even you, 6-2. There's no way you thought there was going to be 6-2, 8 games in. Like that's impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it enough for them to just once again make the playoffs, lose in the first round, and cool? Or like, do they have enough to really do something where you're like, all right, maybe this is we need to be paying attention to something.
With Mike Tomlin on your team, I think that's okay. If you make the playoffs with Mikey T, you got something there. I feel like teams that are consistently in the playoffs, you're missing something. And with that team, it's definitely not the head coach. They've had 3 head coaches in 40 years or something like that. Wild. So that's their culture, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So I think with them, it's just putting together the right roster construction. That year that they won the Super Bowl, they had an amazing defense, and they had an amazing offense to match it. So I think if they can, the last Super Bowl they won was what, against the Cardinals, I think? Yeah, right? They had an amazing offense and defense, and I think they're still trying to put those pieces together. There's definitely pieces there with Minkah Fitzpatrick and Joey Porter Jr., and then, of course, you can't forget T.J. Watt. That guy's an animal.
Dog,
so
he is a dog of dogs, bro. Like, it's really, like, J.J. Watt was so good. And I don't think T.J.'s quite reached that just yet. But, damn, bro, them jeans, bro. Them jeans.
Corn-fed Wisconsin boys. But they have 3 good, solid pieces there. And then on offense, they have Najee.
They got Patrick Queen from Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, Patrick Queen, too. Patrick Queen is good, too.
Iceman is good. Solid.
But Pickens, Najee Harris, finally, like I told you, his contract year, he's going to show out. So not finally remembering how to run. And then I guess you can throw Russ in there. I think Russ seems more comfortable in this offense than he did with Denver. He feels wanted. I don't think he felt wanted in Denver as soon as Sean Payton got there. So he feels unlimited now. Unlimited. So I it's hard to bet against. Sure. I think the Steelers are definitely overachieving. I will agree with you there at 6-2. But they know how to hold their own. In a division every year, we're like, this is going to be a tough division. Somehow they just pull away and make us look stupid. We're like, oh, yeah, it's a clear cut that the Ravens are going to win. Oh, the Browns, they got a great defense, and Chubb will be back sooner than you know it. And they have so many great wide receivers just for Amari Cooper to be gone. Like, then they shit the bed. And then who's the other one in the division that they have?
Tennessee. It's like Joey B is like.
Oh, yeah, the Cincinnati.
We just beat that team, right? And it's like, I had a bad feeling going into this year with that team because you got too many people who just asking for money. I think we talked about this a little bit. There's too many mouths to feed over there. They all hungry. Jamar Chase is hungry. T. Higgins is hungry. Hendrickson was hungry. And Joey B got his 250, 260, whatever it was. And it's like, But when you don't got the money in the bank account and the checks, I mean, Joe Mixon is not even there anymore. Like the checks don't clear. It's like I don't know, bro. So yeah, it's crazy, but nah, Black Force's energy over there in Pittsburgh, you got to give it to them. I still think Baltimore is the best team in the AFC, and I think they just do stupid shit. But I think I mean before I get to the NFC, going into week 8, because if you ask me, I know that they shouldn't have lost that game last week. But if who is your MVP right now? Because I think Lamar Jackson is there. I think Lamar and Derrick Henry maybe offensive player of the year, but like to me, those two, it feels like a cheat code. Cause I'm not gonna give it to Mahomes. Mahomes is not my MVP. He's not. And Josh Allen, maybe they're playing well, but like outside of that, it's like shit. Lamar doing it again.
I mean, I would throw Saquon Barkley in there too. I mean, the guy's having a monstrous year. I know. That's what kills me about that award. So it's like it's cool to see Derek, like the two guys we want to see duking it out on new teams with better shit. Like they've been in purgatory for so long now. They're at a place where they have good old line and can have fun doing what they do. Derrick Henry's a monster out there. And then Saquon Barkley is just he can easily have 200 yards a game, but he's like, I want everybody to eat on the team. He's a team player. The guy,
we don't deserve him, dog. We don't. I don't know what we did right in life. You know what? Screw it. We jump into the NFC now. I'll let you talk about the Jets. Let me talk about the Eagles real quick, all right? I don't know what we did in life for us to be allowed to get Saquon Barkley. Like, I don't know what is it still Gettleman over? Who's running the show over in the Giants? I don't know who's running the show. Whoever's running the show in New York. I don't know. Oh, John Mara, and Joe Shine. That's what it was. Because we watched that Hard Knock clip over and over and over and over, and we know. Chicago ran the price up. Hey, we don't need him no more. Stupid ass. Let me just run through some shit real quick. First of all, everybody was giving Jalen Hurts a hard time. Jalen Hurts right now, 70% completion percentage, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. He hasn't had a turnover in like 3-4 weeks. 8 touchdowns in the air. How many on the ground? 7 on the ground. He has 15 touchdowns this year. He's balling. His quarterback rated 98.6. Right. Saquon Barkley. He got 766 yards through how many games? Through 7 games. So that's over 100 a game. He has 5 rushing touchdowns. That's because Jalen Hurts be stealing all the bitches from him. So, but hey, do you see him playing it? No. Miles Sanders, the reason why he went to Carolina, I want to go back to being a 3-down back, and I just want to feel like Chuba Hubbard is destroying you over there, down there. And now up here, we got Saquon, huh?
He got paid though.
He got paid. But you know that money ain't guaranteed. They gonna take that shit right from him. When Chuba Hubbard is doing what he's doing, and they just drafted his rookie, he ain't getting that full contract. Stupid. Sorry, bro. We had a role for you. You didn't want it. Saquon though, so he's like, bro, I'm chilling. Bro. I'm happy. I had an offensive line. I got Jalen Hurts, who you're scared of. So every time it looks like he has the ball, you're scared. I got AJ Brown on this sideline. I got Devontae Smith on this sideline. I got a great offensive line. I love it. And I know we're off to a weird start. I was probably on suicide watch 1 or 2 times, but that's just the nature of the beast. That's just what it is being a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And then we went on to the bye week. And normally I'm not a big fan of bye weeks being that early for us, because like then you got to play the rest of the week here. It's just every week you got to play a game, right? We got the bye week out the way. We came back, brand new football team, bro. Like it's crazy what a bye week is. Like, that's why I wasn't a fan of Robert Saleh. Y'all haven't had a bye week yet, right?
No, yeah.
That's why I wasn't a fan of the fact that they can fire their coach and y'all even had a week to just talk and relax. Like Tom Brady and the Bucs, when they first started, right? They got off to a bad start as well. They went into the bye week. Tom Brady said, "Look, let's put more of this New England offense that I know into the thing, and let's do it bang bang bang, right?" And they came back off of a bye week. and they lose a game for the rest of the year, win the Super Bowl, right? To me, y'all just needed a bye week just to like, yo, we need to relax, look shit over, and then we'll be all right. I don't know where your bye week was supposed to be, but
Well,
all right, so I mean, shit. I don't think firing your coach in week 4 or 5, whatever it was a good idea either, though. But their bye week for the Bucks was week 11 or 12 as well, by the way, when they won that Super Bowl. So y'all would have been fine. You know what I mean? So I say this to say this. We came back from the bye week, and our offense changed. Nick Sirianni said, all right, Saquon, we're going to run the ball. Jalen Hurts, use your legs when you want to. And then when we throwing it deep to A.J. Brown. We throw it across the field to Devontae Smith or deep to him. And then use your tight ends. Cool. And since then, if the offense has, I wouldn't say flawless, but it's been consistent, right? Defensively, we needed to adjust to the fact that we got a lot of youth on the team, right? I was so high on getting Devin White, right? He was hurt a couple weeks. We said, you know what? Sayonara, buddy. Nakobe Dean, since this summer, when he's like, look, y'all signed this dude. Y'all don't need him. Y'all got me. Y'all drafted me. Remember that. Nakobe Dean has been amazing. Keon Mitchell has been amazing. Cooper DeJean has been amazing. Reed Blankenship, amazing. Go look up the next gen stats, brother.
They're doing good. Go
look up the next gen stats, brother. These hoes is doing their shit. I'm so proud of this fucking team, dog. So proud of this fucking team, dog. The Philadelphia Eagles be flying, but I don't want to get too hot. You know what I'm saying? Because what goes up must come down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to temper my expectations. I didn't think we was gonna do well against Cincinnati, and we blew the doors off of them in the second half. It was crazy to me. Like in the first half, I was like, we ain't gonna win this game. I started watching Law and Order. Now I was getting stressed, man. I was hungover.
They kept them at 17 points from the half, man. That was wild.
And then we came back out of that halftime. I was like, oh shit, belt their ass the whole way through. So I got to give a big shout out to this team. I think we all checked our egos at the door. I think Sirianni needed to check his ego. And what did we talk about before we went on hiatus, right? Quarterback, GM, and head coach got to be on the same court. I think that bye week we finally got Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. Maybe I don't know what they talked about, but they said enough for them to be like, all right, we on the same accord. Let's relax. We gonna run the ball. We didn't get Saquon for no reason. We didn't get AJ Brown for no reason. We didn't draft Devontae and pay him for no reason. So even through all the bullshit we were dealing with, like injuries on our O-line and everything like that, I'm very proud of this football team to be where they at. We got Jacksonville next, who they ain't going through it. But the team I want to talk about now that's ahead of us in the division. Let's talk about the Washington Commanders real quick. Another team that I would say surprised. Every year you're gonna get a couple teams that come out of nowhere. That's just NFL is parity all the way through. Like you're gonna get teams that just out of nowhere, right? But when it happens with a rookie quarterback, it's like, holy shit, what the hell's going on? So I want to get your perspective. Washington, you probably don't watch them every week. I've seen them a couple times. The offense they be clicking, bro. And we saw the Hail Mary play against Chicago. That only happens to shit teams that are special. You don't be seeing no bad teams winning off of Hail Marys. You don't see that. You only see that with the Aaron Rodgers Green Bay Packers when they were on their thing. The Russell Wilson Seahawks. Like you see that with teams that are actually trying to do something. They ran that shit to perfection. Homeboy from Chicago fucked up. We all know he did. Just talk about that. Just talk about what it's like for that Hail Mary play, and then just talk about the Washington football team, Commanders. Put some respect with it. Talk about the Commanders real quick. But yeah, what you got on that?
Dan Quinn. That's all you got to say is Dan Quinn.
Look at the Cowboys now. Their defense ain't the same.
Yeah, the worst defense in all of football. Dan Quinn is something special. From his time with the Seahawks to getting a job with Atlanta, sniffing the Super Bowl. Dan Quinn knows how to coach. He knows how to get the best out of the players he coaches. Right. And I think in this situation, he was given a rookie quarterback that we all said was going to probably be the best in the class and I think he definitely is. Definitely rookie of the year in my book. But I think he was given outside of that a team that was very imperfect. If I may be overspeaking, but when I looked at that roster, I was like, man, Austin Eckler is a shell of himself. He's not the same from what we were expecting. But he knows his role there, and he's a good change of pace back, and he's a good receiver, and he's still getting things done. Many Men himself has come out and shown that he can be a really good running back.
Shout out to him.
Yeah. Scary Terry is having the most fun I've ever seen playing on this team now.
The thing about it, they used to have Tyler Heineke. They had, I mean, shit. Even Mariota. Cause remember, what's his name got hurt last week or the week before, whatever. And Mariota came in, was looking good. That's how you know shit is working, dog. Shit is working. But my bad, continue.
But it's just Dan Quinn. What Dan Quinn's mind is a great football mind. I've always respected Dan Quinn. I thought Atlanta was dumb for getting rid of him as a head coach. But yeah, I think that's what they needed was a Dan Quinn to go in there and take the reins and make things better. So hopefully the Commanders can come out on top and be a threat now in that division. Because the Cowgirls, sure we're going to talk about them too, but what a shit show that's becoming now, man. And if homeboy keeps his job there one more year, I'll be amazed. Because this is like boom or bust for them now. And Jerry still pay Michael Parsons. Jerry still got to pay Michael Parsons.
You know who I gotta give credit to in Washington as well? I think no matter how good the head coach is, coordinators matter too. And Cliff Kingsbury,
yes, I forgot he's there too. Yes,
is offensive coordinator, right? He may not be like some people are just not built to be head coaches.
I think he's built for be a head coach. I just think Arizona is not the place you want to be at.
Built to be a quarterback whisperer. That's what he does, bro. He got Kyler Murray paid. He used to coach Baker Mayfield in college. No, yeah, Baker. I think he coached Baker in college. Yeah. Johnny Manziel in college. Kyler Murray in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes in college. Like he knows what Caleb Williams in college too. Right with USC. He knows how to coach quarterbacks. And for a young rookie quarterback to come in and be this comfortable already, that's how coaches like him keep getting jobs. And he gonna get another head coaching job. We'll see how it goes. But for him, to me, that combination of those two, that's why coaching matters. And but yeah, we might as well keep it in the East then, honestly. And you know, sorry if you're a Giants fan, I apologize because they ain't shit to talk about with y'all. Y'all gave money to Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley, and this is why you are who you are. And I do hope y'all win a couple more games because I don't want y'all to get enough pick to get like, you know, Shador Sanders or whoever. I don't want y'all to get nobody good. So I want y'all to win like 6, 7 games and cool. But let's move on to the Cowboys, right? And you say you be maybe surprised that Mike McCarthy keeps his job, right? You know he's gonna keep his job. Jerry Jones will never hire a coach that can be bigger than him. He needs somebody he can control. And you look at that team going into the year. I try to be what's the word? Superstitious. So I don't like to talk too bad about the Cowboys because it's gonna come back and bite me in the ass, right? So I gave them their props, oh yeah, they got this and shit. But deep down, you look at that football team, I'm like, yo, what are they gonna do? I was like, they didn't do shit during the offseason, but go get Zeke back. Okay. Zeke is a shell of himself. They only gave all their money they had in their bank account to Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Now they ain't got no more money. The offensive line is trash. Michael Parsons is doing podcasts and he's hurt and he ain't got his money yet. And then what else do they have, bro? They ain't got shit else. They are like, and I hate to do this to you, but like the Knicks in 1973, what was it, 73, 70, whatever it was, they won their last championship and they rested on them laurels for years. For years. for years until a homeboy came to a senses like, you know what, World Wide West, Leon Rose, y'all just come on, just bring me back something, like make me a basketball team again. But Jerry Jones don't operate like that, dog. He's too prideful to even think that way. And to me, they gonna keep running into this issue over there until he unfortunately reaches his demise because holy shit, they don't know how to run a football team. They know how to run a business. That's why they're the most profitable fucking organization in sports. But Mike McCarthy, I'm sorry. Dak Prescott, 60 million, whatever he's getting a year. Come on. CeeDee Lamb, he's a great player. I always said I don't see him as the number one. I think he proved me wrong a little bit as far as like what he can do. But that's because then you got shit else to throw the ball to. So I look at that football team and I see darkness. We talk about Aaron Rodgers, darkness retreat. I said, hello, darkness, my old friend. Let's just see dark clouds on that team for the next however many years, because to me, they're in purgatory. What is, goddamn, Yankees 5-0? Why did I go against them on a parlay, bro?
You bad at betting.
It's not bad at betting. I'm just too prideful, dog. Tyrese Maxey is over 25. Jason Tatum over 25. Watch. If Shea Gilgeous goes for over 25 today, which he probably will, and I'm gonna be pissed because I knew this. I'm too prideful. But anyway, what's your take on the Cowboys?
They're a clown show, man. I fucking can't stand hearing people all the time about the Cowboys. I think beginning of the season, I was the only one I think that said under on what they win. Got to go back and listen because I remember I was like, what have they done? They didn't have an offseason. They brought back Zeke, which, okay, another running back, but he's a shell of himself. I know he wanted to come back home, but they haven't even given the ball to Zeke like they should. They haven't even run the ball. They just keep throwing the ball because they're always down in games every time. I don't know what it is with that team. They're just cursed. They're a cursed organization, and it has to be because of Jerry Jones. And I think he just doesn't make the right hires. He signs the right players that he needs to sign. Like, I mean, I think Dak got overpaid a little bit in my opinion, but it was working last year. He was, amongst the top of the quarterback stats a lot last year. So it makes sense. But this year he's abysmal. And I don't know if them rape charges got caught up in this or whatever that he's acting this way, but I don't know what to think of it. It's what I expect of the Cowboys. Every year they're thrown to be the Super Bowl winner, and you got to hear Cowboys fans, and you see them lining up outside of the stadium and running in there, and just to get the ass beat in the home field, man. And Jerry Jones up there just looking like,
oh shit, bro. And they paid money for it, buku money for it. Jerry's World. I've not been inside the stadium, but I drove around the stadium, and I took a picture by the stadium. And I couldn't step foot in that stadium. That shit is fucking nice, bro. And that's just from the outside. I can only imagine what it looks like on the inside. He got people doing tours, doing practice, not in that stadium, but like in other places. Like they he gonna pay his money and he gonna do shit. But come on, man, he ain't trying to win no fucking football games. He just be out there just lollygagging and shit. He got the World Cup coming there in a couple years, but he's fine, dog. He's chilling. He good.
The thing it comes down to is what we preach all the time. It's like good ownership, and you want to believe that the Cowboys are great ownership from the history that they have, but this last few years, it's been bad. Yeah. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Why did I pick the Dodgers again? It's 2 nights in a row I made that mistake. Because they won me money in game 3. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. But nah, that's my fault. All right. I don't want to feel like talking about that bum ass team no more. Looking at the NFC, Detroit sitting at 6-1. And Atlanta sitting at 5-3. Green Bay 6-2. Minnesota 5-2. And us is 5-2 as well. So outside, Arizona's leading the West at 4-4. So that's like you always talk about foam noodle fight or whatever. The NFC West has become the foam noodle fight. But outside of that, looking at the landscape of the NFC, Who do you think is the best equipped right now to make it to the Super Bowl and represent the NFC? And just to give you a little bit of context, because Vegas be on their shit sometimes, sometimes. But to give you some context, conference winners, NFC winner, Detroit is at plus 300. San Fran is still plus 425 in second place. Philadelphia, we're third at plus 600. And then we go Green Bay, Minnesota, Atlanta, Washington, and then it's a runoff of teams after that. So right now, Detroit's favored in the NFC. Who do you think is best equipped to come out the NFC this year?
My man Dan.
I wanted you to say it. Thank you, because I want you to speak on them. Because holy shit!
Dan Campbell loses a juggernaut and Aiden Hutchinson, and still keeps finding a way to win.
Can you imagine? Because trade deadline coming. If they get somebody like Max Crosby, Myles Garrett,
supposedly you heard him allude to something. They're gonna get somebody. Myles Garrett is untouchable. I don't think he's going anywhere. But Max Crosby might be that guy. A white boy in Detroit, another one. One that's good.
Went to college in Detroit, like Central Michigan. He went to Eastern Michigan.
He's white boy Rick.
He is white boy Rick, dog. He's invited to my barbecue. I don't know about anybody else. But Max Crosby, come on down, baby. Come on down. Bring some collard greens, dog. You're invited to my show. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I'm a diehard Philadelphia Eagles. I don't give a shit. But if you have to ask me, here's how I answer the question.
Those are my two teams. The Eagles, it's not even the 49ers this year. There's identity crisis over there right now.
There's too much shit going on, but too many, bro. We don't even know if Christian McCaffrey ever gonna play football again. We don't even know. They've already lost Brandon Ayuk, who they waited to the last minute to pay. Deebo Samuel got lung issues or pneumonia or whatever. Juwan Jennings, your boy, he's hurt. He won me some money before, and then he's hurt now. I don't know who's throwing the ball to who, but shout out to George Kittle because damn. But
everyone who said George Kittle was not going to be that, I was like, I'll take him. I'll take him in the
choice. He don't got a choice. He got to be that now. But if you ask me, because look, we mentioned Detroit, Washington, Atlanta, Green Bay, Minnesota. Out of all those 5 teams, if you ask me who I'm the most scared to play, I think we can beat Washington. I'm not scared of them. Atlanta, Saquon Barkley don't drop that ball, we beat them. And if still he dropped that ball, Kirk Cousins should not drive on us like that anymore, ever again. I'm sorry, that should not happen. Green Bay, we beat them already. Minnesota, I ain't scared of them. So I look at that team, I'm like, Detroit though? Oh yeah, bro. my back's sweating when I think about Detroit of what they're capable of on both sides of the ball, bro. They scored 52 points the other day, and Jared Goff had 82 yards. I said they scored 52 points the other day, and Jared Goff had 82 yards and 3 touchdowns. What the hell are they doing in Detroit? Like, you got to give it to them, dog. Dan Campbell, that's what happens when you stick to the plan, bro. You stick to the plan, this shit works. Like, Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, and their ownership are on the same accord, right? Atlanta, Kirk Cousins is walking your trap, take your trap, head coach, him, ownership, Arthur Blank, same accord. Green Bay, they waited. They said, we're going to wait for you, Jordan Love, but when you ready, we getting Aaron Rodgers out of here. And look at that. Jordan Love doing his thing. Even when he hurt, Malik Willis is doing his thing. Like, all those teams, they all have the same thing in common. Everybody just seems to be on the same page. But on the same page, the same pages, bro, Detroit, I ain't trying to see them hoes, bro. I ain't trying to see them hoes. And then in the AFC, just real quick, Kansas City 1, Baltimore 2, Buffalo 3, Houston 4. Pittsburgh is the 5th best odds to represent the conference in the Super Bowl, followed by Cincinnati, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Broncos. Now, before we get off the NFL, because we need to talk about the National Basketball Association because we are here. All right, we have made it to the NBA. We had the sports equinox the other day, and it was cool. I know we don't talk about hockey like that, and all the other shit, but real quick in the NFL, because I want to talk about a lot of the youth in the NFL. Bo Nix got the Broncos looking like they know what they're doing. Caleb Williams, to me, is starting to figure the shit out. Jaden Daniels, obviously we know that. But then let's look at the other side. Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Will Levis. We ain't seen Trey Lance in a minute. A lot of other shit. So I want to talk about Anthony Richardson real quick because he tapped on his helmet the other day and said, "Bro, I'm tired, boss." And he came out the game because he was tired, and now he's benched for old man Flacco. And we look at the Colts, and look, they're sitting at 4-4. They may not be able to win that division, but they're still gunning for a wild card spot, right? What is your, first of all, with the shit that happened with Anthony Richardson, and then the other side of the quarterbacks, the other side of the token of these young quarterbacks who are doing bad? I mean, what is your take on all of that? Because I've never seen a quarterback say, "I'm tired, boss. Let me get out for a play." I've never seen it before in my life.
Me either, man. I think Anthony Richardson is definitely a special person. I like his charisma. I like what he brings to the game. I think he can be a leader, but I still think he's immature. I think that was the biggest thing coming into the draft. They saw all the potential of him, of what he can be, but now we're seeing the side that we kind of were thinking, he's a little bit immature. He's still young. It's tough to throw a quarterback in the fire like that. And when we see guys like Joe Flacco who take over and take you to the playoffs, and at that they won a game in the playoffs too, right? With the Browns.
Did they win a game?
I can't remember, but he got them there.
I think about it. But he got there.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to not take
the Texans. They lost to the Texans.
Yeah, they did. You're right. But I've never seen anything like that. I've never, ever seen something like that. That is wild to me. So what I can.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick, AROD, because the last 15 seconds I haven't heard a word you said. So
yeah, I'm in Odessa, so it's spotty out here. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I think he's coachable. I think he's a guy that can learn from his mistakes, but that's a big one right there. You can't say so. I've never heard anything like that. This is the most competitive sport, and everybody's chomping at the bits to take the starting reins from the guy next to you that's starting over you. So I think with Richardson, he's just got to be smarter in what he does, and I'm sure they had a meeting about it, talked about it, and were like, hey, you're going to get benched this game. Your opportunity will come again, but right now we need to win football games.
He needed to look. Why are we so quick to want to throw all these young quarterbacks to the fire? I'm going to just say this real quick, all right? Anthony Richardson, you know how many starts he had in college, AROD? 13. 13 starts in college. What the hell are you going to get from 13 starts in college and think you're just going to go in and be Cam Newton? Cam Newton is a special guy. He had his one great breakout year in Auburn, but he also did his blend college shit, right? And he was also behind Tim Tebow and all the other shit. Who the hell has Anthony Richardson seen at the University of Florida since he was there? Like, come on. He didn't see nobody. He wasn't behind no kind of great coaching or quarterback at Florida. He has 13 starts. Mind you, those 13 starts, I watched 2 of those games in person. I'm like, this dude, he's talented, but he can't throw like that. We already knew that going into the league. You expect him to come in the league and tear shit up? Come on, bro. How many starts did Jaden Daniels have in college? 12 plus 4 plus 13 plus 55. 55. Bo Nix, who's doing great with the Broncos. How many he had? A lot. A lot. Caleb Williams. A lot. Like, you can't just expect these dudes who don't play in college. You give them 13 starts and expect them to come into the league and tear shit up. Shador Sanders started every game at Jackson State. Started every game at Colorado. He gonna be ready when he gets to the league. Like, you can't expect the dude with 13 starts to come into the league and tear shit up, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know what they were thinking. They think that was a good idea. And he may one day be a good football player. But come on, bro. What do you expect? He hasn't, bro. You ain't seen shit, dog. You have not seen shit. I'm tired, bro. Come on, man. I'm tired. Come on. Like, that's the shit that bothers me. And to me, he was already off on a bad leg when he started, got hurt early on, and they don't throw him right back to the fire again. Expect anything to change? Like, come on. Like, they need to, like, Patrick Mahomes sat out his whole rookie year. Jordan Love ain't played for his whole 3 years. Aaron Rodgers didn't play for 3 years. And Tom Brady was behind Drew Bledsoe, so he waited. The only reason why he got in his second year is because Hope got hurt, and he still wasn't him until he would have to be him. Like, you gotta slow play this shit, bro. Nobody coming into the fucking field and just gonna be that guy unless there's, I mean, some people like Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his rookie year. 28. Like, it's hard, dog. This is a hard position to play, and I feel like everybody just wants that microwave production, and it just does not work, bro. It does not work. But speaking of players, we look at just quick award odds. MVP right now, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are tied for first. Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley it goes one, Derrick Henry, 2, Saquon. DPOY, TJ Watt 1, Will Anderson Jr. 2, but TJ Watt got a huge lead. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels has a humongous lead, minus 500. Minus 500. You put $1 in, you ain't getting no money back. So that one's already done. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse. I don't know who that is. I ain't gonna lie to you.
From the Rams.
Yeah, I ain't watching no. Oh, that's right. I ain't watching the Rams game. Latu. Don't know who that is. And Quinyon Mitchell third. So all that to say this: Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels is running away with that shit. And I don't know what's going on with second year player who's still basically a rookie. I'm tied, Anthony Richardson. Bryce Young, on the other hand, before we wrap up with the NFL, I just want to say, Bryce Young, keep your head up, dog. It's not your fault. You got drafted to that organization. That organization's terrible, dog. You can't pick who you get drafted by, unfortunately, unless you're Eli Manning. So that it is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say. Outside of that, that's all I got for the NFL. Are you ready for the NBA?
It's time to play the game.
Before we do that, because I don't know where we at with pick'ems. I didn't even pick. I have no idea where we at. Right? We ain't gonna do this. I know we was doing money line and this and that. We just gonna go straight pick'ems for this week as we come back to the as we get back into the thick of things. I'm just gonna go through a few games that I think that are intriguing, and we're just gonna go one word answer. Just one word. Just who you picking. I'm gonna spare you. I'm not going to Houston and New York. I'm gonna spare you. I'm gonna spare you. Just know Houston is favored, and they got 2 receivers that are hurt.
They beat us. They're gonna beat us by like 10, I bet.
Actually, no. New York is favored. Which they should be. They're the home team, and they're healthy. They should be favored.
Take over your trap.
Welcome to your trap. Take dog. Kirk Cousins is the dog. Anyway, all right. Let's get to it. I'm gonna go do a couple of these games here. Let's start with Dallas, Atlanta. Dallas at Atlanta. Dan Quinn gets to see his old team. Oh, that's not Dan Quinn. My bad. I'm thinking. My bad.
Dan Quinn was a disciple on both of those teams.
On both of those teams. So the Dan Quinn Bowl. Dallas is the underdogs at plus 130. Who you got? You frozen.
I'm back.
All right, what you said?
I'm gonna take Atlanta.
I want you to jot these down. and keep track because we gonna get back to it.
Right now.
I'm picking Dallas. I don't know why. You know why? Because I'm superstitious. I want them to lose, but if I'm right, I get the dub. If I'm wrong, I get the laugh. Who cares? I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Another matchup that to me is very intriguing: the LA Chargers versus the Cleveland Browns. So we got Jameis, who is just the magician of magicians, and you know we're talking about young quarterbacks. Justin Herbert is not necessarily a young quarterback, but they treat him like he is because they ain't letting him cook. You know what I'm saying? Like they said, look, bro, Pete Carroll didn't let Russ cook like that, and my other college coach, Mr. Harbaugh, ain't gonna let you cook like that. So we got LA is the slight favorite on the road, minus 125. Cleveland plus 105 money line. Who you got in that game?
I don't want to bet against James, but I have to in this one. Going Chargers.
More Chargers as well. I think James is gonna throw some interceptions because that's what he does. No offense, James. You know I love you, dog, but the Chargers gonna walk in your trap and take your trap, dog. So it is what it is. Moving on to
man next to you.
You gonna eat this dub or what? All right. Tua's back. Can we real quick? Can I talk about Tua real quick before I go into this? They said, look, you gonna wear a Guardian cap? And he said, nah, bro, I'm good. I take chances. I'm like, bro, I said that post into one of our group chats, into our Instagram group chat. The comments on that shit was hilarious, dog. But Tua, do us all a favor. Do your family a favor, bro. And just wear the damn Guardian cap, dog. It's not that deep, dog. It's not that deep. Anyway, they came back last week. They played better finally. Tyreek Hill finally learned how to play football again, and they still lost. But they're on the road. They're on the road. Damn. I ain't never seen you pick Josh Allen this quick in my life. High five. We're on the same page. Sheesh. All right. Buffalo it is. All right. Next game I want to go with. I want to go this Detroit Green Bay game. Now, is Jordan Love supposed to play? Because I know he got a little banged up in the last game.
Day to day, I keep seeing.
I want to say that he plays. Are we going to say that Detroit keeps this shit going in Green Bay?
Detroit against the world.
But they minus 3.5 spread, minus 170 money line on the road.
Is good too, but
I'm saying I don't want to agree here, but I'm gonna have no choice. But I think. Can you imagine the Super Bowl of Detroit and Baltimore? Because I'm feeling it, bro. I'm feeling it right now. Like to me, Baltimore is the best team, and then I look at Detroit. I'm like, oh, this motherfuckers is good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit here as well. How many games is that? Was that 3 or 4? I'm gonna assume you said 3 or 4. 4. All right, cool. The last game I'm gonna do here, we're gonna skip Monday night because Tampa Bay's cooked now without all the weapons they have. We're gonna skip Minnesota and Indianapolis on Sunday night because I think Indianapolis is a shambles. So we're gonna go to this West Side. Oh shit, Bronny scored his first points. Good shit, Bronny. We're gonna go to this West Side connection. LA Rams versus Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks at home. My dog Geno Smith was crying the other day, and they consoled him. I like the little bond they got in Seattle. The Rams are healthy again. They got Puka back. They got Cooper back. They're not tanking. They say we ain't giving up. We going for it. Seattle at home with the 12 man. Who you got?
And they're playing who again?
The Rams.
Ooh. Going Rams here. They're healthy. They got their receivers back.
I like that, but I'm going to disagree here. I think Geno needs this game. I think Geno needs this win.
No DK?
I don't know what his status is. I know he's been hurt, but I feel like he was like a late scratch that last game. Let me see. Not only he has he may return back to practice tomorrow. So I think even without DK, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Noah Fant, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker, that they're not no slouches. I want to rock. I'm gonna rock with the Seahawks on this one because I feel like Gino gonna have himself a game, and they're at home, 12 man. So yeah, give me the Seahawks on that one. All right,
Okay.
let's jump on over to the National Basketball Association. Paul George is taking early PTO. He thought he could carry that shit over from the Clippers. Y'all got a cat over there now in New York, and we're both off to a little shaky starts. Y'all beat Miami right now, and believe it or not, I'm pretty sure we lost to Detroit already, or we're about to lose to Detroit. Yeah, we definitely lost to the Detroit Pistons. So, fuck. But I've got to see Tyrese Maxey go the hell off this year already. 45 points against Indianapolis. Indiana. But let's jump into the NBA season real quick. 2024, 2025. I know the Knicks have high expectations. I know we got high expectations. We've obviously gotten a small sample size of kind of like what to expect. We both sitting at prior to this game, we were sitting at 1-2. We're sitting at 1-3 now. Y'all's at 1-2. And with an opportunity to go 2-2, got to be Miami tonight. But obviously, it's early, right? I want you to talk about your Knickerbockers. Go ahead, bro. What's on your mind? What are you seeing so far, and what are your expectations for the rest of the season?
I really haven't watched basketball like that lately with this whole hurricane thing. But
That's
what
fair.
I can pay attention to, it's going to take some time for them to gel and get together. I know, adding Mikal Bridges and Cat, that's two new players into the lineup there that we have. So, but Josh Hart keeps doing his thing, filling the stat sheet, being the little bulldog that he is. Brunson's, the same player that he is, the leader of the team. I know they're saying Cat's off to a slow start. I'm like, dude, it's 3 games. How can you be?
It's too early. Yeah, it's too early for that bullshit.
Yeah, but I mean, he's gotten 1 double already, but he's going back to being second fiddle. Remember when he was the first option? Now he went to second fiddle with Minnesota. That's how it's going to be here too. But he's just going to be a more productive big man that we have.
Yeah. Just to give you some quick just insights from a statistical standpoint. Jalen Brunson 23 a game, Mikal 18, Hart 16, and Cat sitting at 4. So y'all got 6 people averaging double figures, including Deuce McBride and OG Anunoby. I know Cat's been rebounding pretty well. He's at 10.7 rebounds a game. His plus and minus, he's a minus. Mikal Bridges is also minus 11.3. He has your worst plus minus on the basketball team.
His first game was really, really bad. His first game was bad shooting.
He changed his shot. It got weird, but then he's still shooting 35% from 3. But yeah, that's just giving some statistics there. But just given the roster that you have compared to the last year, obviously no more Julius Randle, no more Dante DiVincenzo. So it's going to take some time for Cat to work in and Mikal Bridges to work into the system. And you know how your coach is, how he does with once he gets his 7-8 guys, those are his 7-8 guys.
He said, I got a guy that's never, ever missed an NBA game. I'll make that happen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Y'all are already running 7-8 man rotations already because after McBride is giving y'all 25 minutes a game, Cam Payne 17, Jericho Sims 14, and then he got 4 people. Pacome Dadier, Ariel Hukuporti, Tyler Kolek, Jacob Toppin. Y'all ain't play. Y'all already, and that's already. Y'all supposed to be trying shit out. Y'all ain't even trying shit out, dog. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, man, they're going to be an exciting team to watch. We'll see what happens. I love Jaime Jaquez, but he's also one of the public enemy number 1s in New York. Julius Randle. That's what happened. He took out Julius Randle. That's why he was out the whole year. So
was Jaime who did that? Y'all let the rookie do that to y'all? Shit, that's my dog. I ain't gonna lie, dog.
He crashed into his knee. So
yeah, he crashed out.
So I mean, the Knicks, it's too early, man. Like I'm more caught up in baseball right now, if anything, because this is my dream here. I've been waiting this since 2009. I got the new hat, everything. Every time they go to the World Series, I get the hat. So
Uh,
we'll see what
2000
happens.
was a rough time for me.
But I'm happy with what the Knicks. I know the first game of the season was horrendous to watch. They always do this to us. They paired us against Boston, and Boston is the defending NBA champions, and go out there with a sledgehammer and just kill us like ants out there. But I like the rotations. I just it's going to take some time to gel and get together, and I think this is a good team to do it with. As much shit as I give Cat, I think Cat can be that guy that we need him to be, scoring and rebounding and a 3-point shooter. This team is built off of 3-point shooting. There's a lot of 3-point shooters on this team.
Yeah.
Sims.
Well, just real quick with the Sixers, I ain't got shit to really say. I'm gonna just say real quick, Paul George and Joel Embiid. So they both somehow committed to not playing back to backs already, which is fucking crazy to me. That we paying people $300 million and shit like that, and you already telling people ahead of time he ain't playing no back to back. I'm like, bro, y'all could just do some kind of load management during games. You could do like play 20 minutes in a game. You don't got to sit out the whole game. I don't know, but all I'm gonna say is it's always fun to watch the Sixers and think that we're actually gonna do some shit. But you look at the Sixers, you look at the Knicks, bro. 83 for us, 73 for y'all. Come on, what can I really expect, dog? Like come on, man. I ain't got shit to really expect. So, quite frankly, I just hope Tyrese Maxey plays well. He's my favorite. He's my favorite Sixer. He's my favorite Sixer since Allen Iverson. So he's the reason why I'm still sticking around, though. I'm just keeping it being, bro. He's the reason why I'm still locked in because like shit, I'm tired of this team already. It's been 4 or 5 games. But now looking at the rest of the East, before we get to the West, Cleveland is undefeated. Boston is undefeated for now, but they're locked into an overtime game with Indianapolis. I keep saying Indianapolis, but Indiana. The Magic are off to a good start with Paolo Banchero, and then the rest of the East is the rest of the East. Milwaukee got some shit to figure out. Toronto got some shit to figure out. Brooklyn is tanking. And that's the East. So ain't really shit to say, but I'm gonna ask you: who do you think Boston should we just put the chalk, the magic marker, the Sharpie, and say, yeah, Boston gonna be out the East again? We're gonna put them in the finals.
Too early to tell.
Listen,
complete. They look complete though. They look complete.
There is nothing wrong with them though. They have no flaws. So I don't know what it's gonna take to beat them, but motherfuckers is good. So I just gotta give it to them. And if I had to say who's gonna be the other team out the East that they should be scared of, for me, I can't even say Milwaukee no more. I would say, fuck it, be scared of Paolo Banchero, bro. That's what I would say. Be scared of the Magic. I ain't got that shit up. The East is theirs, bro, for the take. They might push the Warriors record, bro. They might push for that shit. I'm just saying, 73 games is not out the question because who's stopping them? But is there anybody in the East for you that they should really be a little scared of? You can say the Knicks if you want to.
Be scared of the Knicks, man.
Okay, that's fair.
Be scared of the Knicks. It's still too early to see too. People are coming back from injuries and things too. I give us some time. Four games is just not enough.
All right, that's fair. All right, and just to kind of speak on, because I be tapped. Listen, I want to try to know. I may or may not be a degenerate, and that's cool, bro. I gamble. I have a problem. It's cool. I ain't putting my life savings on shit though, so I'm gonna just let y'all know I'm gonna gamble. I don't have I was trying to get the futures. We'll worry about that later. But Boston is definitely favored in the East. So jumping to the West real quick. Oklahoma City Thunder, top of the West. LA, they were up there too. They've lost back to back. We got Dallas, Phoenix, Golden State, Clippers, and a bunch of other teams again, right? In the West, the West has been like Denver for a year or two, and then is Golden State before that. The Minnesota kind of stepped in like, we got something, and then the last team to represent them has been Dallas, right? OKC went and got Caruso this summer. Shea Gilgeous is trying to get MVP. Chet Holmgren is turning into his own. And I look at that team, and they look like they actually they love each other. Do you think this OKC team could be like on that Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden shit back in 2012 and make it to the finals, even though they seem to be a little bit young? You think they're ready for that already?
I think they can get there because of the camaraderie they have and the unity they have for sure. Yeah. Still think it's fresh, but they do have playoff experience.
They made it there.
But it was Kevin Durant, Westbrook, and fucking James Harden. Like that's.
I want you. All right. We're saying that now. All three of them have won MVPs now. All three of them have had careers like they've had now. At that time, James Harden was drafted 07. Harden was Harden and Westbrook were like 08 and 09, right? They were only 3, 4, 5 years in the league at that time. These motherfuckers is young too, just like that. So we might be looking at these fools 10 years from now, like, damn, Chet Holmgren, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, damn, they was on the same team, and they got Caruso, and they got Luguentz Dort, and we might be saying this about, they might get Cooper Flag this year if the Clippers don't know how to play. Like, are we? I know it's early, right? Are we saying, yeah, pump the brakes? Should I pump the brakes? Because shit, Denver is old. All of a sudden, they are old now. To me, I love Russell Westbrook, but when Russell Westbrook is your top option off the bench, that's a problem. And then Luka and Kyrie in them, and then you got Anthony Edwards in them. So, I mean, what you think? And then you can't forget about Phoenix, but what you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be exciting in the West because we're seeing the youth take over that now.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think OKC is a good bet. I like that. I like OKC, but I also like the drive and ambition behind Anthony Edwards and what he brings to the game too. Ja Morant, we'll see what comes out of Ja too. I don't want to say that he's like fell off. I don't want to do that to the man, but I haven't heard Ja Morant's name in like 2 years now. We should.
Show me a good.
Gave us a tagline. Gave us a tagline for the show. So, but I mean, and then you got old man LeBron. LeBron's like, yo, I got my son. This might be the last year. Like, I just want to go out on top. Like, you never know what happens, man. But if I had to pick my clear-cut favorite, I would say OKC is it right now. But, then here comes Dallas sneaking in somehow, and some other team might sneak in. Sacramento could wake up and say, hey, we finally got a guy that we need, an adult on the team, in DeMar DeRozan. You never know what happens. So we'll see what happens in the West. Because Ja's definitely not fine in the West.
Definitely not fine in the West. I would say, to be fair, I look at Phoenix. I watched them play the other night. I'm like, they might actually finally get this shit right. I think they might actually get this shit right. They went and got Tyus Jones. We'll see with them. But to me, that's definitely that would be the team I'd watch out for. I would say Phoenix and Dallas in the playoff series. That shit will be fun to watch. That'll be fun to watch. Who is your league pass team this year? Who are you watching that's not the Knicks? Who are you excited to watch that's not the Knicks?
For sure.
If you're speaking, you frozen. All right, I can hear you now.
Magic for sure. Magic are one. They look more exciting now, a little bit more polished, a little more hungry. You went and got Pope, Caldwell Pope. And I don't know why. I don't know why I'm going to do this to myself, but Sacramento is another. I don't know why, but I feel like getting that veteran on your team in DeRozan, I think it could move a needle a little bit for them.
The Magic will always be one of my league pass teams, just off the strength of the fact that I used to live there. So I've always had like a soft spot for them. And then the Lakers are always going to be one of mine, just wherever LeBron's at. That's just how it is. Outside of those teams, I have not watched an OKC game this year, and I feel like I don't know. I want to, but I don't know. I feel like it's just I don't know. I got to see. In the West, though, I would say I want to see what Houston does. I don't know. They got Reed Shepherd now.
He ain't playing. He ain't doing nothing.
I want to see how they work him into the lineup. I picked up Jalen. I drafted Jalen Green in fantasy, so I want to see can this? Oh shit, Freddie Freeman. You want to talk about Mr. October? Freddie Freeman might be that guy. Sorry, bro. I ain't mean to do that, but the lead has been cut to 5-3, everybody. But anyway, I want to see what Houston. I might want to look at Houston, but at the end of the day, we all need to see what happens with Victor Wembanyama. So it's gonna be Orlando, Victor Wembanyama, and then Bronny James, and Paolo Banchero.
They got CP3 there now, so that's.
And they got CP3, and they drafted Stephon Castle, and I want to see maybe when they start working him into the lineup too, we might see a little bit more. Who's your MVP this year?
Shea.
I like that option. I would say going into the year, mine was Anthony Edwards because of the Olympic experience that he has. So I'm gonna stick with Anthony Edwards. DPO, Defensive Player of the Year. Is it Wemby's from here on out?
Yeah, it has to be.
I'm gonna take Anthony Davis because fuck it, why not? Rookie of the Year. Do we know of any rookies that has done shit yet that we might be like, oh, it's gonna be one of these French kids like Richard Shea or whatever? Like I don't know who's gonna be anything this year as a rookie.
I haven't paid attention really yet, so
we'll get back to that. Coach of the Year.
Missoula.
Yeah, they're gonna win 70 fucking games at least. I like that. I'm gonna stick with you on that one. And then sixth man. I don't even know who's the sixth man right now, so we'll wait on that. We're gonna have a little bit more organization. We getting back. Hurricane Milton has cleared out the air. Oh shit, AROD. You know what? I'm gonna let you get back to this game. Because
it's getting hairy.
Garrett Cole is making this shit not as entertaining for you. Here's what we're gonna do. I want you to give me just one word to describe your October.
Spain with a silent S.
Damn, bro. I'm gonna say awakening for me. But there's a lot of change might be coming in my life soon. In a lot of different ways. So we're gonna see. Awakening. We're gonna turn that Spain around, bro. We're gonna turn that Spain around, all right? Oh, Ethan. Where can they find us at, bro?
You can find us on Twitter at fair_weatherpod.
That shit was sounding sad.
I'm tired. You can find us on Twitter at fair_weatherpod. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. Wherever you subscribe or listen to podcast audio, you can catch us there. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. Words of wisdom. Give them. Take them. Give them.
You know what? I ain't betting against Freddie Freeman, and I picked Freddie Freeman. So we're going to see what happens tonight with the Dodgers. Look, I love you, dog. it may not be your time yet. Sabrina Ionescu and them, they got the city of New York a championship. So it's gonna be okay, brother. It's gonna be okay. But my words of wisdom for everybody: October may not have been the month for you, but November.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you about this team and the manager? I don't care if it's Garrett Cole. You pull him. You pull him.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be all right, buddy. It's gonna be all right.
A gun.
So we ain't gonna show no guns. Everybody, we outside. Adios. Stay out of trouble. Love y'all. We back. We're gonna come back next week with some more, bullshit and everything. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna keep drinking red wine. And we outside. Peace.